E-gaming bets. We accept bets on computer games online since 2011. Referral system for regular users and the first deposit bonus. Gaming devices store and the best choice of payment systems. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, Counter-Strike and StarCraft, World of Tanks and League of Legends. EGB.com. You know for sure who's going to win.
G2A.com, the best video game store ever! Fast as lightning, solid as a rock, cheap as duck. What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember G2A.com, the best video game store ever!
Okay, we're back. Game number two. Infamous against Digital Chaos. Let's see what's going on. The draft has begun. Game number one was... I think it's best we just forget about it. Put it out of our heads. Infamous can do the same thing. DC, they wiped the floor with them completely. But, you know, a new day, a new draft, a new game. My co-caster here is Pandago for this series. And honestly, I think Infamous, the opener this time, is a lot more solid. Gyro Wisp.
10 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
the overall theme of the last draft was just too greedy. Like, they had two cores that need a lot of protection in lane with Ember and SF, at least the way they had it set up. When Ember's safe lane, it's kind of a weak solo laner against certain heroes, especially Beastmaster. And then they had, like, a jungler, an offlaner that is only good against the right matchups. Like, Sand King is probably a good offlaner, but he needs to be against things that he can lane against, and he cannot lane against an Ursa Oracle. So... just all around very greedy, and that greed was exploited heavily by DC. I'll be surprised. Like the thing will be like, will they be able to come back from that? Because that's the type of stomp that a lot of players, it's like some might not be able to recover fully mentally from something like that. So this game will probably be, will they be able to just come back, play Dota the way they know how to, and execute whatever their plan is? Which right now, like you said, they open up with Wisp Gyro. I like that pickup, but not necessarily in this situation. Like, those heroes are very good together, but Invoker kind of is already really good against both those heroes. If he goes Quaswex, which he did last game, Quaswex Invoker is good against dealing against the two things the Wisp does, which is, if you can't split push with Wisp, you group up and push and use the heals to, 5-man and take towers if they counterpick your split pushing. And then, obviously, preferably, you want to split push with it. And if you have Quaswex Invoker with, an Orchid, he can kind of just prowl around the map, look for the Wisp in the trees, you kill the Wisp by yourself, and then the carry is kind of stuck out in the middle of the open with no one to protect him, and usually he'll die as well. So, in general, I would say Quaswex Invoker very good already against Wisp Gyro, and they picked it into that, but I do think that it can still work. So, it'll be interesting to see the last couple picks here and how they round it out.
DC have reacted very strongly to this Wisp, though. Disruptor, age-old kind of, not necessarily counter, but just a solid hero all around against the Wisp. Glimpse someone back, whether it's the carry or the Wisp himself. Kinetic Field, Static Storm, good AoE combo when they relocate in. Beastmaster with the vision from the Hawk. I think that fits into what you're saying perfectly. If you have the Hawk seeing where the Wisp is, Invoker can just hunt the Wisp down time and time again. And you know if they're setting a trap. If the Wisp is relocating in, you know exactly who's sitting around ready to actually spring the trap on you. So Infamous, Batrider with a lasso. Interesting. Been a while since we've seen a lot of Batrider. I think Bambo played a lot of it on 4CNL in the offlane. S4 obviously played a ton mid recently for Alliance, but it hasn't really come back with the strength that we're used to. There's no more 8-minute blink daggers. There's nothing like that. You can't really farm the jungle as efficiently. Both the hero and the jungle have been nerfed.
10 seconds
so it's
remaining.
mainly going to be a laning hero, but with AUI's Chen coming out, DC are going to try and fight these relatively weak lanes from Infamous. The Gyro lane should still be decent, but with any Wisp lane, you're still looking at a lack of stuns, a lack of actual lane control, and Batrider's the same. He likes 1v1s, but he doesn't like being pressured early.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and he will be dealing with that. So right now, presumably, we have Beastmaster offlane again with Bulba. The Chen will kind of be doing what the Bounty Hunter did last game, I think, and he'll be roaming and trying to apply some pressure instead of just farming. Actually, I'm not 100% certain on that yet. Once we see the last couple picks here, because it looks like they're kind of gearing up for a very heavy push lineup. With the Chen and Beastmaster, if I was Infamous right now, I'd want to ban out some sort of carry hero that complements early game pushes. So potentially Luna could be good here. Venge could work, yeah. It's a little more all-in. Like, it is good against Batrider, though, but he's usually the one that's going to be getting gone on, probably, or Invoker. But, I mean, Disruptor, it's kind of nice because if you have Venge as the core, Disruptor can protect Venge, and Venge can protect Disruptor, and Batrider's basically nullified. That's why I was kind of surprised they picked Batrider into Disruptor, because Disruptor is, like, historically been considered a counter to Batrider. Like, one of the strongest when, you know, Batrider had his glory days, or it was, like, the first pick god of Dota, and he just, like, that was, like, the one hero that could save you against the threat of Batrider. So, I mean, it's still manageable, but it's not fun to play against if you're Batrider versus Disruptor.
There's like Shadow Demon, Disruptor, Venge, maybe a Baden here and there.
Yeah, those were like Abaddon used. I mean, now new heroes might work a little better with Aether Lens. Abaddon used to not be the best because the range on your shield was usually too short to really like reliably get it. Same with Shadow Demon, but with Aether Lens, I think those heroes are probably better counters to Batrider now. So I mean, that hero, well, it got a few buffs. I think the Aether Lens actually made it a weaker hero overall. I mean, I probably will eat my words on that, and soon it'll be the best hero in the game. But, you know, just in my opinion right now, I think that it's not the greatest. But we'll see if they can make it work. So right now, Infamous is severely lacking lane clear. Like, they don't have any way to really push up the lanes reliably. That is one hero that is okay at it, but they still, like, overall are going to have a hard time keeping lanes pushed out enough to really stop Digital Chaos from grouping up and running them over. And Digital Chaos is just going to want to, like, constantly keep the lanes pushed in and try and apply pressure, and then dive with the Chen at some point, kill somebody, and take a tower.
So we're looking for a TC hero here, right? And historically, it's like
I would
Luna,
imagine
Gyrocopter,
so.
Stuff like that.
Luna got banned, Gyrocopter's picked. I think they still want to push hero, Juggernaut's banned. Alright, so they went for a more late game hero, because that's definitely not one you would consider like a sieging early game hero. But they still have push.
I was kind of wondering Lycan. We've seen a lot of Lycan being picked up.
That actually would have been a very interesting pick. I think that would have been really good. I mean, Razor is okay against it, same with Batrider, but they have a lot of heroes to counter those heroes. So the Lycan could have been interesting. It would have been, I think, more early game focused because you could have gotten a lot of auras. Like Bulba could have gone Necrobook again. The Lycan could have gone, you know, Vlad's AC, and they would have just had a really strong 5-man, which I think is good against Infamous's lineup. But it looks like they're going to go more for the, because I think Phantom Lancer is going to be able to farm pretty freely this game. They don't have any good pickoff. Like Infamous's lineup, how are they going to kill Phantom Lancer once he gets a little bit of farm going? Besides like a Batrider into a Witch Doctor ult, I don't think he's going to be dying very much this game. So TC is going to have basically free reign on farming, and DC is just going to kind of 4-man and make a lot of space for him. And then they'll try and like have TC TP to fights that are good for them and just take 5-man fights when it's optimal, and then take towers off of that. So, yeah, it's a good pick.
How do they clear illusions later on? Like,
yeah.
Gyrocopter, okay, the first 20, 25 minutes, he's decent. He's decent against the PL. With Call Down, Rocket Barrage, Flak, you know, you can kill illusions pretty nicely. But once it gets to that point where Phantom Lancer has, you know, whatever he has, whether it's the S&Y build we've seen a little bit of, the Diffusal, the just tanking up with the Treads and Aquila, it gets more and more difficult to actually bring the little bastard down. And DC have all the control behind as well. So even if you do try and jump that PL with a Batrider and relocate, you know, Lasso into relocate, they've got a good setup and combination there. Death Ward, a lot of damage on top. But again, we're talking about Disruptor, Beastmaster, there's Roars. There's even the Chen send back. Send the Phantom Lancer back mid-Lasso.
That's actually interesting. I didn't... yeah, and he'll be focusing on farming mainly too, so he's going to be like... He's going to be pretty farmed. His main goal is going to be to get... I think he'll probably go Diffusal Manta Blink this game. I'm not 100% certain on that, but I think that that'll probably be his build, because he wants to be mobile in teamfights so that like when they do catch someone with a glimpse, or when they do catch someone with a roar or whatever, like they use to set up the kill, he can be there and do a lot of damage quickly. We'll see though. I think UR will go Quaswex this game again, and he'll be doing kind of what I said, prowling the map, setting up for Beastmaster and Disruptor, and they'll just be killing people with him. And I think Infamous with that Razor pick really does have, and the Witch Doctor heal, they have more of a 5-man lineup as opposed to a like split up the map and pick stuff off. They still have the potential for that, but I think that they're gonna want to be taking the fights with DC and like trying to run them over, because if they try and chase the PL around the map and kill him, they're not really gonna catch him. So they just need to focus on pushing the lanes out, try and get a pick off with Batrider, maybe relocate in to do it, and then just push the lane that you kill the person in and try and take some early tires that way. Because if they give up too much map control against DC, they're gonna be in for a world of hurt. And if they just kind of all play their own game and sit in their lanes and keep pushing the lanes out, they're eventually gonna get picked off by like Roar and Glimpse and Chen. So this game is definitely, I think, a more even draft than the last game, but I would still slightly favor DC.
Sorry, I just zoomed in on the Chen when he was loading in, and that was the glitchiest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, the loading in animations aren't always the crispest.
No, but it was, you know, like the interactive view where it goes into the full zoom in, and he was midair, and it looked normal when you had the sort of normal view on him. But it did the whole effigy thing where the man, the Chen man on top of the mount was there was no mount head. It was it was the guy's waist attached to the mount's body, and it was just extended out. That was pretty creepy. Creepy. Dota 2, weird stuff happening. All right, 1437. Where is he heading for this observer ward? Is there a new spot? Is there someone? Oh, there we go. Okay.
30 seconds.
Didn't realize you could actually get up to there from that little point. Because there used to be this spot, the really weird one, where it was sort of on a cliff but not on a cliff near the tier 1 up at top. But now you've got this nice new pinnacle that you can just place a ward on top of.
Yeah, it wasn't nearly as good before. It's a very good ward spot now. It's more equivalent to like the Dire like Roshan Hill now, right? Like we oversee the tier 1 a little bit. They tried to even out the warding spots so that they're just more equal basically. It's a very good ward.
What is going on with the lanes here? So Batrider's down on bot, safe lane Bat. The Gyro has a Bracer at level 1, and he's heading towards mid. We're going to see Max Homing Missile. It's going to be Wisp Gyro mid, actually, the dual lane mid, with top lane being Razor Witch Doctor. Interesting stuff. So the Beastmaster against Bat lane. Bat favored early on, but what do you think?
Yeah, I think the Bat should do pretty well in this lane, especially since Bulba went boots. I don't think they were expecting these lane setups. So like Bulba doesn't have a stick already, and he's gonna have to wait a little bit to get it. Greedy's gonna have some decent CSing here, and the Boars will not do super great against the Bat until he gets level 3 on the Beastmaster, like you said. Like they're just gonna get napalm. They won't be able to like kite, and then they're just gonna die in like 3 hits. So I think the Bat should have a pretty decent time down here, which is what they need. They need Bat to get off to a good start of this game because he's their only real catch. So if he has a good start, they're in a pretty good spot. I think this lane swap was pretty smart by Infamous. I think that overall it favors them compared to DC. Because PL is now up against a Razor instead of a Batrider. The Chen has to play defensively more and like help his safe lane. And this Gyro and Wisp can kind of just like free farm mid and pressure, because Invoker, like he'll get levels and he'll get last hits and stuff, but he's going to have a very hard time securing any kills in that lane.
And then you look at this PL actually, forced to go Doppelganger level 1. Now of course level 2 with the Lance, but Razor and Witch Doctor, 1437, has yet to level anything up. No Thunderstrike, no Glimpse, just waiting to see, I guess, when the first rotation from Chen comes in. He's got a smoke. He doesn't have a great creep to move himself across, though. Hellbear will be able to clear out the camp. And like you said, kind of focus on farming for these initial stages. But up at top, the cast bounces back onto TC. All of his damage has pretty much been drained. Well, a good majority of it anyway.
All 29.
All 29.
Yeah.
Half
Level 1 Link is pretty bad. Like once they get level 3 on Razor, if he goes Link, then he's just going to steal Peel's damage. So he'll have to use Doppel like every single time to get away from it, especially since he beat him to boots. On the Razor has boots before PL. And the PL's going to like basically get no CS for the first 2 minutes. But here comes the rotation in. They actually just killed the ward instead, which is pretty value now because they get the experience from it. Gyro's actually in trouble mid. He's going to get this rune. He has a Fairy Fire. He's just standing still. He's not picking up the rune.
Well, that's less of a bait and more of just a straight up death.
Yeah.
Voka picks it up. Interesting. There's no tether from the Wisp either. I guess they wanted the Wisp to get the bottle and heal himself up, but now Yawa.
Yep.
Fairy Fire. He's got another one in 3 seconds as well, so it doesn't look like Ztok can actually pick up this kill. Tethers the creep, but AUI, he's up on this cliff top, ready and waiting with a stop down. EMP's there as well. This Wisp is dropping low. Not sure they can actually get the kill until maybe Thunderstrike's still out of range. The right click's coming in. The Centaur. That damage output seemed a little bit insane, but 1437 now linked up by Lord Razor. Kinetic Field will block him out though. That's the final hit comes in. The crack of the whip. 1437. Yep, saved by AUI's Chen. Centaur stomps out. They will be able to get themselves away and denied to a neutral.
Yep, I don't know how the Gyrocopter got so low mid. Like, he's probably doing things like diving. I didn't even look at the lane, but I'm presuming he was diving the tower because that's what he does, so he shouldn't ever be in a situation where he's low against Invoker. And the Wisp went to get bottom rune, and like he balled it up, and then Z-Talk, or not Z-Talk, but the Gyro went for top rune and just, I guess, was caught off guard by the Chen rotation.
What level is Yawa now? Level 4. So he's definitely going into that Wex build. He's got his phase boots up, and that's a big deal. 4 minutes, he's got his phase and good 100 gold. His phase boots could be, the difference between life and death on this middle lane if he does get chased down.
Yeah, because he still shouldn't really be able to kill the Gyro in theory if they have like ball charges up and the Gyro's playing safe, but he could definitely catch the Wisp if the Wisp was out of position with the Tornado and the Cold Snap and kill him if he has phase boots because it's a lot more damage. So that first blood, pretty significant.
Now, whenever Batrider leaves this bottom lane, he has gone for the bottles, so bot rune should be his. Beastmaster is getting experience. The Bulba, got about a grand in the bank. Greedy still yet to hit that lasso timing. It's these balls that just keep coming out, and if Bulba hits level 6 and, gets a TP to move out to top lane, they've got more than enough damage to kill off a Razor. 700 HP, a couple of Lances, bit of damage out from your Disruptor. There are easy pickings if DC can make the good rotations. AUI, yeah, he's still got the smoke as well. So they've got Dark Troll Centaur, they've got the lockdown, they've got the stuns. Just need to find that one opening if Infamous do overstep their bounds. Right now.
So one thing to point out, I guess, is I forgot to look at the last hits because I don't usually have access to those, but the Gyro, he is maxing the rocket, or homing missile rather, and he's also out CSing Invoker a lot. So even though he did feed away those kills, like, they're still up 12 CS and a few denies. And I think the Wisp has also been stacking. Yeah, he stacked the hard camp once, and he's actually stacked both camps once. But he doesn't have flak to clear it, so they're going to have to use the Wisp plus like cooldown maybe to clear it. It's not super efficient. I guess Batrider could do it. That would probably be the best.
Yeah, with Batrider sitting on about 1,000 gold himself, Brown Boots bottle and go straight into the blink. And you can really counteract the possible movements from DC. Oh, that homing missile is so annoying. It drops any hero down to like half HP right now on the map. It's only level 3. Witch Doctor up at top. Has he started stacking this side camp yet? Looks like he'll try and aim for that right now. The MP. Won't do too much here to the Gyro. He's already low on the mana anyway. Phase Boots Bracer for him. But 1437 looks like he's kind of struggling, scrambling to try and find anything. What's this middle lane is AUI's Chen. The rune will spawn, but bounces back between these creeps. And maybe that's going to be a lot of free gold here for the Gyro, but they're going to chase the homing missile, look for AUI, the stun will come in, and this is going to drop him to like 200 health. This is going to be a kill for sure. Down goes the Chen.
That was a really good rotation from the Witch Doctor. Like, they should expect the Chen, if he's doing safe jungle, like the dire jungle, to come to those runes, and they should bring the Witch Doctor to it every single time. Because if they brought Gyro, Wisp, Witch Doctor to top rune, I think like the first time they did that, when they lost, they would have probably had that exact same thing happen, and they would have won the fight. So that rotation from Witch Doctor this time, if it would have happened earlier, would have probably changed the pace of the game a little bit. But that was still a really huge pickup for them.
Look at this Batrider. Invis, and he sees 3 heroes down here. Invoker plus Disruptor did make the rotation out. And yeah, the Witch Doctor was actually stacking this camp, and then made the move towards the rune at the same time, so doubly efficient for him. Phantom Lancer, how's he doing up at top? He's getting out CS'd by pretty much everyone, all the cores on the Radiant side. TC, this is not the same as game number 1 by any means. 7 minutes in, we're not seeing a massive lead. It's actually the Radiant who are coming out, well, I feel they're coming out on top for their cores, but the tiny lead is like a 10 gold lead or 10 net worth lead or something like that is actually coming out for DC. And you've got to put that down to the Chen, who nearly has his mech completed.
Radiant's bottom tower
It's all,
is
like, it's
under
basically subtracting a little bit of experience and gold from all your cores, or mostly gold, and putting it on your Chen, which pretty much means they need to make stuff happen with this mech ult. They're going to have 6 on Chen here, and a little bit they're going to have his ult. And they can definitely take some nice fights if they catch them out. But I think that if like Infamous is able to get this blink up on Batrider and keep picking them off, then they're going to be in a pretty good spot here. They are going deep for this Chen kill, and this is pretty dangerous if they dive that. Okay. He resisted the urge. I know he wanted to. I'm sure Z-Talk was like yelling at him, like, please turn around. The Chen creeps are actually doing work on Witch Doctor here, and they're going to call down the Chen creeps. If they can clean these up, it's actually pretty big. Chen has ult, but I don't think he's going to waste it for him.
But with no mana left now, and with no cooldown, does this open them up? Well, Tornado EMP will fly through. Cold Snap is ready as well from Yawa. The Witch Doctor pretty screwed. The Phantom Lance will kill off the Wisp, and now Gyro is left to his own devices. The trap! The trap! It was starting to be cast by that Dark Troll, but they didn't quite get in range. Still, Yawa will chase down this Gyrocopter. With 6 seconds until Cold Snap's back up, the uncharges just keep on flowing. Gyro should be dead with one more click, I think. Cold Snap thrown for good measure. That's it. Gyro, you're dead. Another 2 uncharges up for Yawa as well.
Yeah, that kind of dive into the jungle for the Chen, it just like doesn't accomplish much. I mean, even if they kill the Chen there, in theory, like what does it really... I guess if they wipe him out and kill his creeps, it's pretty good, but if they just kill the Chen, it's not even really that efficient for them. They lost a lot of laning time, and they lost all the pressure on the lanes, so I think that they just need to realize when they're winning, like they were basically winning the game, right? We're just talking about how like, yeah, the Chen's getting some stuff, but I think this is pretty efficient for them. They're getting farming all their cores, and then everyone just like leaves their lanes and runs into the jungle and fights the Chen. So definitely a favoring DC there, but I think the blink, it just came up on Barrier, yeah, and he has 2 smokes. He's actually TPing onto a warder here, so he might get spotted out. We'll see if they saw it. I don't think they did.
I don't think they did. Hiding in the trees, hiding in the fog. Who are they going to pick off? Bulba? He's got his Necro 1. Still a juicy target though, level 8, and they turn themselves back around because he's backed up off that bottom lane. Maybe it's Yawa they want, but like we were saying before, there are so many ways here for DC to stop that Blink Lasso in. There's Glimpse if they go on the Invoker. There's Tornado EMP if they go onto the Disruptor. It's difficult to find the pick unless it's this Chen. Greedy spots him, Firefly is ready. They're just going to try and grab AUI, drag him back. Oh, the ensnare traps him in, so there is no drag back, but AUI should still be dead here. The Razor coming in, Mech keeps him alive for now. Not only did they get the kill on the Chen, also a couple of creeps there to their name. Big commitment and rotation in from Infamous though, as that Tornado does a chunk of damage. TC still hunting and chasing. It's just forcing them out of this jungle right now. As mid, 1437 getting closer to 6, and Bulba not taking this time to farm and push bottom lane. He was a little bit afraid the gank was coming for him.
Yeah, I think he thought a fight was going to break out, so he kind of started doing that thing where you look on the mini-map and you're like, hey, there's something going up there, and he started running towards it, and he's like, oh wait, I don't want to be there. And he just went back to farming the jungle. But he has the tower or the creep wave pushed all the way into the tower. So he's doing his job, scouting out with the Hawk, keeping pressure on bottom. The Witch Doctor really needs to come down here and just kind of sit and try and soak the experience that he can. Maybe get an Observer Ward up. Ooh, barely dodging that roar there.
Close.
But, you know. Because the level 6 on Witch Doctor would be really nice because he's a lot of the damage for the lasso combos. Like, if they can actually lasso someone, they still kind of lack the ability to kill them unless they bring a lot of heroes. But if Witch Doctor has 6, then, like, all of a sudden Bulba has to be more afraid bottom. Because he'll die to just Witch Doctor plus Batrider if, like, they lasso into Ward and he has no one else around.
Now, what's the reasoning behind this Quelling Blade from Bulba? We saw it last game. Early on, he got Quelling Blade in the lane he was up against, and it did well for him to get last hits. But here, going back for it at 11 minutes? This is just to create juking spots or something?
No, maybe for dewarding, it's not horrible, because if he goes Necro 3, it's pretty nice, right? He can take out a lot of wards, but I think it's just so he can efficiently farm. Like, he doesn't want to be using his mana, because he doesn't have a ton of mana regen, so... I mean, he kind of doesn't want to use axes ever to farm, and it's only level 1 anyways, but I guess he just skilled it up to 2. But it's a very efficient item in terms of I'm going to be farming bottom a lot, and I want to clear the jungle. He has a lot of damage, like base damage on the hero. Always getting jumped, relocate coming in. He should be dead. He has mech, but not even worth using the cooldown in that situation.
That's just a secure kill for them. So Infamous again with a 4-man rotation, once again killing the Chen. This burst of gold they got onto AUI from the jungle, the early mech, they haven't really utilized it too much, or really haven't had the chance to. No push onto tier 1 up at top, no push onto tier 1 mid. These incursions into the Radiant jungle. Okay, Bulba now has enough money for Necro 2. I think it's just DC trying to draw Infamous away from this PL for a while, give him a little more free time to farm. So we've seen the Razor seen the Midas from the Razor now. Definitely trying to get himself into level 11, into those bigger items a little bit faster. But why no mech for him?
I think this is really smart by Infamous, actually. This game is going in their favor pretty heavily right now, I think. The Bat Rider has a really good start. He's nearing 11. He has a lot of money saved up on top of his Blink, almost 1,800. And they just realized that, like, with their heroes already, they don't need the mech to team fight DC, because they shut down the PL really hard early, so PL is not coming to fights. So it's going to be, at worst, a 4v5, because they have the relocate. So they can out-efficiency them with the Wisp and farm the map. And they can out 5v5 them because they just, like, they basically won't be fighting at 5v5, and their heroes are very good early game teamfight heroes. The Razor basically went Midas to try and help with their problem, which is they don't have really great late game against PL. But if they shut down the PL really hard with the early game, like lanes and gank them a few times, and they have a Midas on one of their cores, then they might just be able to keep pace and actually, like, take the game late and win, because they'll just have more farming. Mid's getting jumped here though.
The snap to mid, Gyro. See ya, buddy. Oh, healed up. The Wisp keeps him alive, but he will get dropped regardless. And the relocate out Wisp not in time. Will TP back to his death. I guess the Midas also works pretty decently from the Razor against Chen Creeps and Boar.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he's using it every time it's up, but that was kind of unfortunate. I think that they should have. This is kind of a consequence of their vision right now. Like, they have no wards really going, because this Witch Doctor is just like poor as dirt, and they're just getting like out-visioned all over the place and getting de-warded when they do place wards, because the vision is already there from DC. So they need to try and keep the lanes pushed in and keep tabs on where DC's at, because if they go for those 5-man smoke ganks like with Roar, that's how they're going to basically snowball the game. Because it's not that they just killed Wisp and Gyro there, which is huge in its own right. They killed them underneath the tower and then immediately killed the tier 1 afterwards, like, and lost almost nothing for it. I guess they're going to lose their top tower, but I think it might get denied. We'll see here in a second.
Oh, I didn't click it in time. Didn't see the HP. It's another Midas from Yalwa. 14.5 minutes in, not too shabby after phase earn again. Not the same as last game. Still pretty damn good timing, honestly. Oh, looking at that tower, get denied out. Now, with the Bat Rider, we saw Van a lot when he was playing with these lads. Yes, he played with these lads for a little bit when they were Slayers of Gods. But he used to love going for the BOTs first on Bat Rider, sometimes go for a Midas, stuff like that. The Blink Dagger here from Bat Rider obviously was a lot to do with the threat factor. Like, oh god, Bat Rider's got a blink, he's going to start jumping on us, start picking us off. So DC have reacted and gone a little bit more aggressive into the enemy jungle to try and force Infamous here into positions where they're not getting those instant pickoffs. But going back for the BOTs, it's going to add them opportunities like this where Greedy goes straight in, finds the pick after the TP, relocate onto Yawa. He's got the Tornado there, and the mech from AUI will keep him alive into the Ghost War, and he's out. AUI might be able to survive through this, but the call down. Yawa turns the fight. They'll get the Wisp, but the invocable tie with a Chen. And 1437 going to drop as well as the Bat Rider chases him down. The glimpse back, but Gyro's on the hunt, looking for the kill. Oh, the poor little Disruptor just about gets it, but Bulba roar into Necro units. He'll get the trade-off at 3 for 2 so far, and now he's looking for more. Razor turns it back around. It just swings around about his TC. Finally, the Phantom Lancer has decided to join and fight and battle through with this Razor. He's screwed. Another Lance, another set of axes. Will allow Bulba and TC to secure that one. Greedy still on full HP though. Fireflies up onto the hilltop. Honestly, that was one of the scrappiest one by one fights I've seen in a long time.
Yep. It was a little bit of sloppy execution initiation-wise from Infamous. Like, preferably they would have relocated a little faster, and I think that would have been like almost a clean kill. They might have even killed the Chen and the Invoker and maybe lost the Wisp. But I think overall that was still pretty favorable for them. Infamous came out. I didn't actually look at the recap. But
it was like a 1200 swing for Infamous. Yeah, it's definitely the
yeah, and a lot of that was focused on the Bat Raider, which is like he just bought bots and now he's 300 gold away from 4-staff. So a 16-minute Blink bots 4-staff Bat Raider is pretty scary. And he'll probably get a BKB after that, which makes the Disruptor pretty weak. So if he can like nullify the 5 support hero, because pretty much in this game, Disruptor's purpose is kind of screw with the Wisp and screw with the Bat Raider. Oh, trying to pick up on you are here, but managed to sniff it out and get away. So Diffusal Blade first on PL, which I'm still predicting he will probably go the Diffusal Blade mid to Blink build. They're actually jumping on the Razor here, but I don't think they're gonna... Oh, actually I didn't see these other heroes rotating down. Here comes Relocate though.
Gyro with a call down, gonna land on the 3, the roll back onto Gyrocopter though, and he's getting dropped really quickly. The Necro 3s are shredding through his HP, and the Razor trying to turn a flight 1437. If they've got a glimpse back, they do. Razor dragged back, almost into the hands of this Disruptor. Didn't find the kill though. And as we just saw Infamous get a firm grasp on this game, it's an even bigger swing back for DC. A pretty big loss there for both Razor and the Gyro.
Radiant's
The Phantom Lancer
is under attack.
gets himself a nice chunk of change and experience. And then again, it's conversion, right? DC, every time they win a team fight, they get a tower out of it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And this isn't like it's random happenstance either. They're very aggressive in pushing their lanes out. They are kind of getting jumped on here.
It's a kill on the Disruptor, but this puts the Wisp in a pretty sticky situation. Except that Napalm will allow for DC just to TP themselves away. No stuns coming out of Infamous there. That's fine. That's a decent trade-off. Just give the Disruptor
Still
a run.
overall good for them. But this stuff really... So first of all, I really think that Infamous should pick up a gem, like on their Batrider preferably. I don't know if they want him to buy it. They kind of might have to because everyone else is super poor. But like you're up against a Beastmaster with Hawk Vision, and they're just being out-map maneuvered. Like if they had complete like parity in map vision right now, and say like all of them just had no wards, this would be super favorable for Infamous because they could just like fly around with bat and pick people up and kill them. But the problem is they keep getting jumped on, and then they relocate into the fight, and it's just like more of them are there than they expect. So the fight typically goes pretty poorly for Infamous. But I think if it's ever just a straight up like 5v5, you know, actual team fight instead of these like little brawls they've been having, that Infamous will probably come out ahead for at least. Oh, they actually just bought the gem. I'm surprised. A lot of times with any teams you don't see gems. Like it's just not something they like to buy. But this is going to be the game determiner in my opinion. Their ability to deward the map and keep the gem under control and then pick off heroes and kill them. If they can do that, they'll win. If they lose the gem, they will be in a very bad spot. So focus on the greedy. That will be the determining factor in the game. Are they going to smoke or are they just ganking? Looks like he might just be trying to jump and lasso him. Force blink, grabs him, pulls him back into the ward.
Pretty sure he's
super
done
good.
before.
And they should be able to convert.
DC really wanted to get Bulba and 1437 around towards the middle lane. Just, I don't know, 3 or 4 seconds, a little bit behind schedule. So that jump from back caught them off guard.
Radiant's top tower is
So
under
clips him back, greedy. Ward inside a stack storm. The gem is going to drop here. If Bulba can take it, get himself away. He's dropped an item. He's got the gem. Only missile will fly through. But how long did he have that for? 40 seconds? Less than a minute? The gem's already changed hands.
And this is why any teams don't buy gems. C-Talk's going to get picked off as well, and they have Glimpse coming out. Nobi keeping on Gyro, so he's not going to survive here. And this is the strength of DC's lineup right here. Like, Infamous gets a really good pick off, and instead of grouping up and staying together and just taking a fight, or even just running away and splitting up, they like run in one at a time, they try and pick off another hero, and they just get picked apart by the Roar and the Glimpse and all of that. And basically, that was that was game-winning for DC. It's not over by any means, but the heavy favor, like this is the biggest moment of the game so far by far, and like DC is heavily favored at this point. They have a gem with a Beastmaster, so they can totally control the map. And PL got a lot out of that, I think. What did he just pick up? Yeah, he got the Yasha. So I think he's gonna go for that Manta. We'll see though.
And it's super well defined as well. Like just looking at the net worth graph, you can see these moments where Infamous, they're like from beginning, their laning phase went really well. DC had the chance, so it was kind of balanced out. There was nothing in it, and then DC had that one pretty good fight into push. But then it's just been back and forth. It's like pick off into good fight into then TPing away and leaving stragglers to get taken out by DC over and over again, just bit by bit. And that last one, DC, like you said, the swing of the gem puts them into about a 7.5k net worth lead, 4,000 experience lead, which isn't massively important, but it's still looking at a level 11 Chen now, Disruptor level 9. And you've got your 2 supports on Infamous who are sitting at level 8, so there's no level 2 Death Ward. 1437 drops the Storm with the field as well. Tornado EMP catches 2 with a blink forward from the Batrider. Lasso's up, look at the hand of God. Chen keeps them all alive. Maybe Greedy can get himself over to the cliff top and back to safety. But Bulba drop into the Death Ward. Not going to die just yet. The ticking. The damage from the gem drop now on the ground as the Batrider. Oh, can you get yourself out of here? Because Yawa's invis hiding, but there's still that dust. There's still the gem. There's still the vision. Yawa has to turn and fight. EMP down onto the Witch Doctor's head. Will get that kill, but Greedy can blink, can TP. Tornado off the mark. I think he's looking for this kill. I'm not sure if he should really go for it though with Chen next to him. Yawa still okay with the stick charges. The damage output from Greedy just enough. And the Razor turns the fight. Gyrocopter's here to save the day as well. Static link onto AUI and DC. They lose 5. After we thought...
Yeah, that's Dota 2, boys. NA Dodo. Ellie Giggle, forehead, you know, all the memes. Like, they pretty much just fought there with no vision, and Barrier
Dire's top tower is
took
under
care of the
attack.
fight because of that. Like, the Barrier was able to create chaos. It was really, really smart from Barrier not to immediately jump on the Disruptor because he didn't need to. Like, he was already out of position. So many players, I can't even stress this enough. And this is a sign of a good Barrier player. Like, he would have just saw that guy and immediately jumped on him and pulled him back, and they would have killed the Disruptor and the fight would have been over. But instead, like, he knew the Disruptor was dead because the Razor was closing up on him, and he looked for someone else and tried to, like, make space for the fight to happen. So I think that was a pretty significant play there that kind of, like, turned the fight in their favor. Now that Gyrocopter's got his item and he's gonna get flak, like he's slowly starting to get flak finally, the fights are gonna be way easier for them because like that's their biggest problem is they have no way to clear out the creeps. But once he has BKB and flak, like he can kill all the Chen creeps and the Necro minions, and like half of DC's team fight is gone, or more than half of it even. I think those things have been like carrying them through these team fights, so it should be that was huge, obviously, for anyone that was watching, in case you didn't know. They got the gem back, which is probably the most significant part, and they're basically back at even. So, Infamous wants to do what they should have done originally, which is get a pick off, if they can find it, and then try and take these tier 1s after they've dewarded, like, you know, the obvious ward spots with the gem that they got on bat. And then, from there... Okay, so DC's gonna go for a YOLO smoke into Roche here. Actually, wait, no. Changing their mind, going to the jungle.
Don't think they'll find
spreading
him,
out.
though.
Yeah, they're Greedy's running right towards them. Ooh, this is hopefully. Oh my gosh, he did see him. He's pinging XL. They're actually collapsing on them here. Okay, the Witch Archer is dead, I think, but that's actually not worth it for them. He's the only one that dies. Yeah, because that was so much time. All 5 of them running around. They've basically got nothing.
5-man smoke into Witch Doctor kill. I just wish there was a way to see like the path a hero took in the past 30 seconds or something, because the Bat Rider's movement in that last fight was like dance here, jump, like he did this really weird zigzaggy movement all across, drawing attention from one side of the fight to the other. It was pretty fun to watch. Roshan,
he's playing well.
Can Infamous get in there and stop this?
They don't have BKBs, so it's very difficult. If they can pick up one of the heroes, the problem is they don't have any way to kill it. They have to catch a Disruptor. They have a rocket going on him right here, actually. So if they go right when he gets rocketed, this could be decent. But it's too late. Battery manages to squeeze out, though.
Gyro's put himself on the front lines with a roar, and the Phantom Mantis running off his head. He's dead! Gyrocopter's gone. The Static Storm not going to do a damn thing, but Z-Talk, he relocated somewhere. Not sure where to or where from, but he's glimpsed back to some other location. He's shredded as well.
That was just very unfortunate. Like, they're hesitating so much on their plays, and they can't decide if they want to go in or not, and like they basically have to commit or not commit there, and 2 people committed, 2 people didn't, and I think honestly they just need to not even care about the Aegis there, because they could have pushed the other 2 lanes in so much and gotten a lot out of that. So they came back, tried to contest a pretty difficult Roshan, and lost a lot for it. Like, if they have BKB on Barrier, that's the easiest fight you'll ever take in your entire life. Like, they just grab someone in the pit, they use cooldown, and they kill them, and the fight's over. But like without the BKB, he has to either go right when the Disruptor gets stunned by the rocket or not at all, and it's just too difficult to do. So if they had BKB on bat, good fight there. No BKB, pretty bad. But he just gets it now, so team fighting has become much easier for Infamous now.
I don't know if we picked up on this, but Ether Lens on Disruptor, like glimpse range, it's gonna be insane. It's off. It's oh my god. You have to fully zoom out to see the glimpse range.
I know, it's pretty like one of those things you kind of overlook with Aether Lens, right? Like you think of the small range spells that heroes have that
like Witch Doctor ulti.
Yeah, but like the like long range spells, you're like you can like actually just look away from your hero and click on the other side of the map and like hit people. So it's pretty crazy. And I just imagine playing Barrier against that, man. It's not a fun experience. Like if he can see you, he can get you basically.
See what 1437 does with that one. So PL did end up picking up that Manta style, completed it up. With the Aegis, how long do they have left on that? Another 3 minutes or so? They've got plenty of time here to take down the final tower, tier 2.
He doesn't have a way to... Oh! Oh, that's pretty good flint break. Rocket on him.
Tornado's on cooldown. They do have the Stag Storm into field. Batrider just flies straight on over it, but the Roar comes through onto Greedy. Bulba, he was there ready to save Yawar. The heal as well. Io, Batrider, both dead to the PL on the back end. And this cooldown is going to slow down 1437, but it's not going to stop TC. He's just destroying and annihilating every single one with a glimpse back. Perfect. From the Disruptor, he kills off the Bulba Beastmaster and turns the fight. The Razor has so much damage. The Witch Doctor tries to get in there with a cask and maybe a Death Ward, but it's all cancelled out. AUI's Chen, the army arrives. They lose the Beastmaster, but look at how low they are. That was inches away from Infamous cleaning up that fight and getting the PL plus the Invoker.
That was like one of the closest fights, actually. Infamous just committed a little too hard. I mean, when you chase someone in like that, you have to expect his teammates to be showing up, right? And if the Beastmaster wasn't there, that would have been a good chase. But that Roar, like, even though he was still BKB'd, he took so much damage from the Necro right clicks and all the heroes just tearing into him. But if they got the lasso off that fight, it would have been a different team fight entirely. Not the way you really want to spend your first BKB charge. So Aoi actually has the Ancient Black Dragons now, which, I mean, that hero is crazy. Or, like, the Ancient, rather, is crazy. The hero with the Ancient is crazy. He's able to just like push all the lanes, and this is like the Aoi creep actually. He's the lord of the split push, like with support heroes. He's just gonna camp these dragons in every lane, and look at this shit. Oh my gosh, this is insane. I've actually been doing this in pubs with Lifestealer, like you just infest ancients and cut creep waves and farm like this. But yeah, if you get it on Ags on Chen, you can do it to every lane, and you can just hide black dragons in the trees and like come out and kill a creep wave in 3 seconds and then fly it away. Yeah. And I don't know Infamous. I didn't even think about this, to be honest. Like I didn't expect the game to really get to this point where he'd be doing this, but they're easier to take care of at this point. Like when you're level 6 and you're doing this on Lifestealer, you can't do anything to kill them. But like they're still very annoying to kill. It's gonna take a lot to take those the ancients down.
Even without arcanes or sustain, you've got 5 fireballs.
Yeah,
Plus the
and then he
splash
can just
damage.
get another one. Like if it runs out. Yeah. So.
Razor trying his hardest to kill off this black dragon. I mean, look at how many hits it takes.
Let's bring it back.
Bring it back. Oh, there we go. Back to Papa.
I didn't even think about that. He can just send it back to the fountain too. Like he could just like stop using his hero entirely, go sit in the fountain and just like bring the dragons back to the fountain and then send them out. Like
screw it. 30-second cooldown on Hand of God, just heal them back up to full. Why not?
That's man. I mean, yeah. If you can get to this point with Chen, that hero is very strong. So. Blink up on TC. I'd imagine he's just gonna get a. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna go Scotty or not. Probably. Maybe he'll upgrade his Diffusal first, even. But Bulba's got his Blink bods. The Aegis just went down.
So Scotty to tank up against Gyro nuke damage. Initiation from Batrider.
Yeah, I don't think they're really lacking on damage, so he just needs a little more survivability. And the slow is very good as well. Like, if he can get on top of Gyro or Razor with the Scotty slow, like with all his illusions, those heroes, like, they can deal with him, but like you said, if they're really tanky at the beginning of the game, then, like, they can't deal with them, and he'll just wail on them. Yeah, they're getting racks right now, and they don't have good base defense.
I mean, the Razor just got glimpsed back. He TP'd to top, and he got glimpsed back. He has to make the walk of shame back towards the top lane, but Rax are already dead. The Gyro Whisper trying to take down tier 2 up down at the bottom lane. They can't even relocate into fight. It's going to be a second lane of Rax here before the Razor even... Okay. Well.
They found their timing, man. They just pushed all the creep waves in simultaneously with Ancient Black Dragons, and then they just, like, ran down a lane and won the game.
That was kind of anticlimactic, you know? The fact that it was relatively close.
It was well executed. That was a really good game from DC.
Wow.
I mean, Infamous definitely played better this game. We'll give them that, right? Like, they played well. They just had a few mistakes, and the game definitely could have gone their way if they just cleaned up their play a little bit. But a few misplays in teamfights, and the push power of DC prevails today, and the Ancient Black Dragons have ruined Dota. Expect to see some Chen bans in the future. No, I mean, it's good, but you still have to get to the Ags, right? So, and you can, like, block the Ancients. So there's ways to deal with it, but yeah, good game.
Well, they definitely showed up. Infamous showed up in game number 2. Can't really say the same for game number 1. That was
yeah, that was something. That wasn't really Dota.
Nope.
That was worse than my pubs. Like, I would have rather played just some random pub game than been playing that game, which I usually can't say about competitive games. Usually I'd be like, yeah, I'd rather play in that competitive game. Nope. Would have definitely rather played in the pub.
It was pretty horrendous. But anyway, we've got another series coming up, hopefully straight away. I think it's scheduled for 10 minutes ago, so we should be able to get ourselves straight into it. Going to be Elite Wolves against Enemy GG. Let's get ourselves through into the other lobby. But thanks for watching. We'll be back in about 5 minutes or so with the next series.